Success is not rare because it is complicated. It is rare because it is uncomfortable. Most people spend their lives searching for an easier method, a faster shortcut, a secret that will spare them the cost of discipline and patience. And in that search, they quietly trade their potential for comfort. The first brutal truth is this: most people do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because they refuse to become uncomfortable for long enough. They want progress without pressure, growth without sacrifice, results without routine. They say they want change, but they do not want to change their identity. They want a new life, but they cling to old habits. They want success, but they protect their comfort as if it were more valuable than their future. So they live in preparation and planning and motivation, but never in consistent execution. They read, they listen, they watch, they agree. And then they go back to living the same way because deep down, the human mind prefers familiarity over greatness, even when familiarity is slowly destroying possibility. And the tragedy is not that they do nothing. The tragedy is that they do just enough to feel busy, but not enough to transform. The second brutal truth is this: most people confuse intention with commitment. They intend to wake up earlier. They intend to save more. They intend to learn, to grow, to improve. But intention is a thought. Commitment is a lifestyle. Intention makes you feel hopeful. Commitment makes you uncomfortable. And when discomfort arrives, intention disappears because intention negotiates. It says, tomorrow will be better. Next week will be easier. After this phase, I'll get serious. Commitment does not negotiate. It decides once and then obeys that decision daily. This is why most people remain in the same financial position, the same physical condition, the same mental patterns for years. Not because they lack information, but because they lack non-negotiable standards. Leave their future at the mercy of their moods. And moods are poor leaders. They change with sleep, with weather, with opinion, with emotion. A life led by moods will never be a life of mastery. The third brutal truth is this: most people are addicted to short-term relief and wonder why they never reach long-term reward. They escape discomfort instead of training themselves to endure it. When work becomes demanding, they look for distraction. When progress is slow, they look for entertainment. When discipline feels heavy, they look for comfort. And comfort is a very convincing liar. It whispers, you deserve a break. You've done enough for today. Life is hard. Take it easy. And slowly, without realizing it, they build a life around relief instead of results. Success, however, is built on delayed gratification, on doing what is necessary long after the excitement is gone, on showing up when no one is watching and no applause is coming. Most people cannot tolerate the quiet season of effort, the season where nothing seems to change, the season where progress is invisible. So they quit early, not dramatically, quietly. They drift back to what is easy, familiar, and emotionally safe. And years later, they call it bad luck, when in truth, it was simply a pattern of choosing comfort over character. The fourth brutal truth is this: most people never succeed because they never learn to manage their own mind. They are intelligent, they are capable, they have access to information, tools, and opportunity their grandparents could not even imagine, yet their inner world is chaotic. They let doubt speak louder than discipline. They let fear have a vote in every decision. They let past failures define future limits. Their mind becomes a courtroom where excuses are always winning the case. I'm not ready yet. I need more confidence. I don't have the right environment. Others have it easier. I started too late. And the mind, if not trained, will always find a story. That justifies staying small. Success requires emotional control. Not the absence of fear, but the ability to move while fear is present. Not constant confidence, but the discipline to act without it. Most people wait to feel ready. They wait to feel motivated. They wait to feel certain. But feelings are unreliable partners. They rise and fall. They come and go. They change with energy, sleep, mood, and comparison. Those who succeed learn a hard lesson early. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your mental discipline. They train their thoughts. They guard their focus. They learn to speak to themselves with authority instead of pity. While most people let their inner dialogue weaken them, a few learn to command it. And that difference, invisible from the outside, decides the entire direction of a life. The fifth brutal truth is this: most people never succeed because they overestimate what can be done in a week and underestimate what can be done in a few disciplined years. They live in emotional time, not in strategic time. They want fast change, quick proof, visible results. And when those do not appear quickly, they assume they are on the wrong path. So they switch. They restart. They rebrand their goals. They look for a new method, a new plan, a new direction, not realizing that the problem was never the path. It was their patience. Great outcomes are slow in the beginning. They grow underground before they rise above the surface. Like roots before a tree, like foundation before a building. But the modern mind is addicted to immediacy, to likes, to views, to quick validation, to instant feedback. And when effort does not pay immediately, the mind says, this is not working, when in truth it has barely started. Consistency feels boring to the undisciplined. Repetition feels pointless to the impatient. Routine feels restrictive to those who do not yet understand freedom. But those who succeed understand something most people never accept. Time is not the enemy. Impatience is. They stay when others leave. They repeat when others get distracted. They refine when others look for shortcuts. And slowly, quietly, while no one is paying attention, their ordinary days begin to stack into extraordinary years. The sixth brutal truth is this: most people never succeed because they never decide who they are going to become. They live by reaction instead of by identity. They wake up and let the day tell them how to feel. They let their environment decide their energy. They let other people's opinions shape their confidence. They let circumstances determine their effort. They have goals, but no declared standards. They have dreams, but no defined self-image. And a person without a clear identity will always drift back to what is familiar. When pressure comes, they return to old habits. When fear appears, they return to old limits. When progress slows, they return to old thinking. Because the mind always seeks to protect the identity it knows. Success begins the moment you say, quietly but firmly, this is the kind of person I am now. This is what I tolerate. This is what I no longer accept. This is how I respond to difficulty. This is how I show up when it's inconvenient. Identity is the deepest form of commitment. When you see yourself as disciplined, you act disciplined. When you see yourself as responsible, you act responsible. When you see yourself as someone who finishes, you stop quitting. But most people never make that internal declaration. They hope their behavior will change their identity, when in reality, identity must change before behavior becomes permanent. So they keep trying and stopping and restarting and wondering why nothing ever sticks, not realizing that success is not built by occasional effort. It is built by becoming a different person and then living in alignment with that decision every single day.